Hello, everyone. Meteorologist Danielle Uliano here, joined by meteorologist Mark Collins, and we are talking about heat.
Big heat.
Not only here in the U.S., although we will get to that in just a few minutes, but first, in the U.K., Mark, in the U.K.
Oh, yeah. So the Thames River, that's a good place to jump in and cool down. But, well, you probably don't want to swim in it. But I think when it's as hot as it's been in the U.K., people are probably considering the extreme. Talking about extreme, it's the heat there. Throughout Europe, 1,000 people have died in this latest heat wave.
That's crazy.
It's nuts. Like 1,000 people. And one night there were like 275 people that perished with this big ridge of high pressure centered over Europe.
And again, today and tomorrow, this ridge of high pressure, not only through the UK, Great Britain, but through Paris, France, down into Italy. We're going to see some of these temperatures here because this high pressure has just been very, very dominant. Low pressure is on the way, so they'll slowly start to see some relief. But before they get there, they're going to see these temperatures well into the triple digits. Take a look at this. London, 97, 100 degrees. I've never been to London. I know you were here there not too long ago,
I was there
right?
recently.
So what is the climate usually like there?
Well, it's not this hot. When I was there in March, it was definitely jacket weather. But remember, the English Channel, much of the North Atlantic, cold water. In fact, I've surfed in Paris, outside of Paris, in the Biarritz area on the Basque Coast. And in August, the water temperature only gets to 70 degrees. So the water is cold, right?
Yeah.
It's surrounded by this natural refrigeration, but I tell you what, when you've got that dome of high pressure, even the water can't cool down some of these islands.
Yeah, exactly. So you're seeing these 100-degree temperatures in London, which usually this time of year they sit into the 70s. But if we zoom things out even further, look at Barcelona, 100 degrees, Madrid, 104, Paris, 105, Milan, 100 degrees. That is very, very hot.
The strangest thing to me would be putting on a wetsuit in Portugal to go surf in water temperatures in the upper 60s when it's 104 degrees out there.
Woo.
And I was looking at the satellite. There's a lot of wildfires that are taking place across Spain. A lot of that smoke has been blowing back through Portugal. This is prime time tourist season in that area, and they're dealing with poor air quality too.
And I'm sure they'll be dealing with the effects there of this heat wave. Hopefully they'll start to cool some temperatures down, but they're not the only ones seeing a heat wave. In fact, if we come over to the United States and we look at the central western United States, check out all these heat advisories that are making their way through, especially if we move down into Texas, that pink area, including Dallas and Oklahoma. That is an excessive heat warning, Mark.
And Dallas today is going to be above 100 degrees. But this is something that they have been dealing with all month long. There have only been 4 days with temperatures below 100 degrees. And even those 4 days, it was like in the mid 90s. For us here in Florida, we've had just 2 days in the upper 80s. The rest have been in the low 90s.
I'm not complaining about our heat anymore.
It's not as bad.
I'm not complaining about our heat anymore. And if we actually go up into Dakotas as well, Rapid City, they're under that excessive heat warning. And a little further south, they're under the fire weather warning because it's hot and it's dry. Just out in the Midwest, they had that dust storm just last week, really, that caused that massive accident. It's very dry and it's very hot.
So this heat is going all the way up to the Canadian border with temperatures near 100 degrees in North Dakota, and it's spreading eastward so that by the middle to end part of the week, places in New England like Boston will be in the mid 90s, just as hot as us here in Florida.
And that's because this ridge of high pressure here will slowly travel across the U.S. as the week continues. Right now it's focusing on the west coast, and again they're going to see a lot of rain. But if we go ahead and look at the drought conditions there, they need the rain. Texas, over into California, Nevada, those drought conditions are extreme or even higher. Thankfully here, we're just dry or moderately dry.
Right, in northern Florida, but there's still parts of southern Georgia that are dealing with drought conditions, and that includes Pierce County, Waycross. You've had some thunderstorms around the area, but it has been so dry in May and June that it's going to take some time to alleviate that, especially for the agricultural community. They're suffering with the drought that they've been in there in Georgia.
And any showers that have developed, we can see here as we look hour by hour, they're kind of isolated in nature. So it's not a big area of rain rainfall that's giving everyone sort of that relief. In fact, if you look over to the west by that area of high pressure, yes, you see some light showers in the hour by hour, but that's not really going to do anything to give relief or stop any drought conditions. And as that system continues to track off to the east here, hopefully that cold front will bring some rain, but it looks pretty dry actually. Here locally, we'll have high pressure in the Gulf and we'll see some daily isolated showers, but nothing that's going to be a lot of relief ourselves.
The tail end of that cold front stretches out, becomes stationary. That's the blue and the red dashing. So you can see how the cold doesn't reach us, but in advance of that front, all up and down the East Coast, and especially in New England, before that front rushes in, it's that hot southerly flow, and that's why temperatures could be a little bit warmer than us in New England with those mid to upper 90s.
Thinking of a temperature in Boston warmer than Florida is not something we think about every day.
Not at all. At least we have air conditioners. Some of those
Yeah,
folks,
exactly. Some of those places
don't
don't even have air conditioning. And for those places even in Europe that don't have AC and they're dealing with these heat waves, that's where they're leading.
So that's a really good look, Danielle, around the world and even in our backyard, because this week it will certainly be getting hotter here in Florida, as we'll still be dealing with a few storms, but maybe not as much as what we had here lately.
That's right, Mark. All right. Have a good day, and thanks for joining us.